2021 season has come to a close in dramatic fashion. Welcome back to the episode of MDK Racing Victory Stop. My name is Jet. If you can't tell, my voice kind of not there. I'm a bit congested because I was kind of sick the entire week, and I really couldn't. I didn't have enough to keep talking for so long, so that's why I didn't do a race day video. I do apologize. I've been slacking on the videos. Just a lot of stuff happened. So yeah, let's talk about the race. This was a really good race. All four championship contenders each seemed as though that they were in the best position to win the championship. Early on, it was, it seemed as though it would be Martin Truex Jr. Then it kind of shifted to Chase Elliott, then maybe to Denny Hamlin, and then Kyle Larson in the end steals it to take home his 10th win of 2021, but most importantly, becomes the 2021 NASCAR Cup champion. Yeah, like I said, there was really the entire race. All four drivers seemed to be in the best position to win the title. In stage one, we had a really nice 5-car battle between Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick, and 3 of the championship drivers in Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Larson. Truex was able to come out on top, and he would win the stage. And then you had the championship 4, just right behind him. Elliott finished 3rd, Hamlin 4th, and Larson in 5th. So it seemed as though early on it would be Truex's race, at least at the beginning. He had the fastest car, especially on a longer run. Same thing with Denny Hamlin. It seems as though as the Hendrick drivers, they had the short run speed, while the Gibbs drivers had the long run speed. Stage 2 would begin the same way. You had the short run speed of Chase Elliott lead the first 30 some odd laps before Martin Truex Jr. with that long run speed passes Chase Elliott, and he takes the lead. Then there were a lot of cautions in stage 2. You had lap 34, Quinn Houff, he had a right front tire go down and slams the outside wall hard for the 4th caution of the race. Very disappointing way for Starcom Racing to go out with this being their final race before they close up shop at the end of the season, or at least right now they're closed up shop. Then you had lap 65, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had a left front tire go down, possibly after bumps on the dog leg caused that tire to go down, and he slammed into the turn 3 wall. Then you had Chase Briscoe's left front tire cut down, and he backs it into the wall right in front of Denny Hamlin, who was stuck there in traffic after his team, really for majority of the race, they just kept on having bad pit stops. Hamlin had a car that was capable of taking the lead, but just he was getting mired back in traffic because his pit crew, they weren't having horrible pit stops, they just were having meh. Compared to his 3 championship contenders, they were the worst in terms of pit stops. Then after that caution, he had a restart. He even had a moment off of turn 2 where Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson made contact on the back straightaway, and it kind of benefited Kyle Larson's car because the way Chase Elliott hit him on the right rear, it pushed Kyle Larson's right front fender outwards. So it acted as like a spoiler to the side of the car, which helps with side force allow, which aerodynamically helped his car later in the race. And that's what sealed the deal for stage 2 at least. Larson go on to lead the rest of the way, Chase Elliott in 2nd, Hamlin 3rd, and Martin Truex Jr. in 4th. All championship 4 were in the top 4 by the end of stage 2. That just goes to show you how strong all 4 championship drivers were. They were right there from start to finish. Now, even though Kyle Larson won the stage, many people had their eyes set on Chase Elliott, who I felt like, and I'm pretty sure everyone else felt like, he was the better of the Hendrick duo. Because after that restart, or when stage 3 began, Larson was leading, but Chase Elliott was not, letting Larson go. He was always within reach. And with 76 laps to go, he eventually passes him for the lead. But again, we talk about with long green flag runs. On the short runs, you give it to the Hendrick boys. On the long green flag runs, you give it to the Gibbs guys. Hamlin and the 19-car Truex, they start to come to life. And they say it takes them around 30 some odd laps for them to really start gaining momentum and work their way up towards the field. And that's what happened. The 11 car of Hamlin, he passes Kyle Larson for 2nd place with 68 laps to go, while Truex began the final round of pit stops 2 laps later. That is when the caution came out. Alfredo, off of turn 2, has a right front go down and goes hard into the wall. That brings out the caution. But remember, Martin Truex Jr., he's on pit road, so we all assume that, oh no, this is horrible for the 19. He gets trapped a lap down. But based on the way of, number 1, when he pitted, and because he was so close to the leader, when everything cycles through, eventually Truex would become the race leader. Now, everyone else, they came out to pit road. Hamlin will come out second, Elliott third, or Elliott and Larson fifth and sixth, I should say. But yeah, it actually played out really well for Truex. And all of a sudden, it felt like Truex and Hamlin were in the catbird seat because, again, this was around, I want to say maybe 60 to go when we got back to racing. And again, the Joe Gibbs cars are really good on the long run. So a lot of people assume, okay, now it's Truex and Hamlin's race to win. And many people were siding with Hamlin because they felt like maybe Hamlin may have had the better cars. So again, this is when people thought that Hamlin was in the best of shape. And that is when 30 laps to go. Again, this is around the time where Joe Gibbs racing cars hope a caution doesn't come out. Well, it did. A piece of debris, a large part of a brake rotor, came off of David Starr's car, and it was sitting right in the middle of turn 2. This was obviously a hazard when you have a large piece of a brake rotor sitting in the middle of the racetrack. It was a hazard. Of course, the caution had to come out with debris, but it was something that Truex and Hamlin did not want to see. And that is where the money stop came. Now, unfortunately, I don't have it, which I'm pissed off, but on the final pit stop, after that caution, the final round of pit stop, Kyle Larson came in 4th, but an incredible pit stop by his team, which ended up being the second fastest pit stop of the entire season, comes out first. Hamlin will come out second, and I think Elliott third and Truex will come out in 4th, but it was an incredible pit stop for how far back they were. They came in 4th and came out first. Because of that, Larson, with that short run speed and him having track position now, Larson was now in the catbird seat. Larson takes the outside, Hamlin takes the inside, but of course, with the short run speed, Hamlin falls back, Larson, he gets out in front. But Truex, he moves to second place, but Truex is able to keep in touch with Larson. He's able to really challenge, but again, he's there. He's not letting Larson out of his sights. But then, as the run got longer and longer, in a short run, the 19, they just started to fall back. Hamlin was able to find something because he fell back to 4th after that short restart. He fell back to 4th, but found something by driving so far up the racetrack on both ends of the speedway. He was able to get by back on Elliott to move to 3rd. Then he was starting to charge in on Truex, but then Truex started to pull away from Hamlin and start to close in on Larson. But by that time, it was just too late. Too little laps. Joe Gibbs Racing, they needed much more laps in order to get to Kyle Larson and to pass him. Not enough laps for them to catch him, meaning that Kyle Larson was able to hold off Truex and win his 10th race of 2021, the most wins out of any driver since in a single season since Jimmy Johnson back in 2007. In fact, that was the last time a driver had double-digit wins, was Johnson back in 2007, 14 years ago. But most importantly, Kyle Larson becomes the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion. An absolutely unbelievable ending to what has been an incredible season. 10 wins, 20 top 5s, 26 top 10s, an average finish of 9.3. Absolutely outstanding from Kyle Larson. Larson, not only did he win 10 races, half of them came in the playoffs. He won half of the playoff races. That's tied for most amount of wins in a playoff season. Tony Stewart did that back in 2011. But not only did he win 5 out of the 10 playoff races, he won 4 of the last 5 Cup Series races of the season. It's just absolutely unbelievable performance from Kyle Larson. I personally have never seen a performance like that ever in my time watching NASCAR. Not even Truex in 2017 or 2017 when he was winning all those stages was he this dominant. I mean, he led 2,474 laps, which is the most in a NASCAR season since Jeff Gordon, I believe in 1997 or 98 was the year. But I mean, overall, there's nothing else you can say but the best man won. Say what you want about the format, the best man won, which I'm fortunate. My heart wanted Hamlin to win, but I think when you look at statistics, everyone knew that it was Kyle Larson's championship to win. So I'm proud of Larson, especially when you consider the fact that everything that has happened to him over the past year and a half and what he has done to help, to give himself another chance and to better himself as a person. I mean, he's done a lot more off the racetrack than I think any other driver. And yeah, just hey, this is the land of second chances. Kyle Larson got a second chance and he made the most of it. And he is your 2021 champion. It's also a Hendrick Motorsports 14th championship. That is the most out of any team in NASCAR. And yeah, it's kind of funny how we look back 2 years ago and we were saying, what's wrong with Hendrick? And now, I mean, they won what? 16, 17, or 18 races, I think. I think they won half of the season, or at least close to half of the season. Yeah, 17 out of 36 races, I think they won. They won nearly half of the races this season. Absolutely dominating performance by not only Kyle Larson, but from Hendrick Motorsports as a whole. Also beautiful about the championship four with Larson, Truex, Hamlin, and Elliott is that all of them were in the top 5 for virtually the entire race. Larson had an average running position of 3.2, Truex was 3.7, Hamlin was 4.7, and Chase Elliott was the most consistent of them all, 2.4 average running position. I mean, they were just on it. They were on the money the entire race. We're going to go through some of the notable other drivers. For example, Ryan Blaney, he finished 4th. He had a really strong car here today, led 33 laps. Eric Almirola in 6th. Surprising to see him up there. Kyle Busch 7th. Kevin Harvick in 8th. Kevin Harvick, he had a really strong car. Led 1 lap, but he had a really strong car. Was able to flex some muscle on the championship contenders, especially early on. But this is the first time since I believe 2008 or 2009 that Kevin Harvick did not win a single race this year. And that's kind of shocking to go from 9 races last year to 0 races this year. Bell in 9th, Brad Keselowski in his final race with Team Penske in 10th, Logano 11th, DiBenedetto, thank God he's on the 21 car. He comes in 12th. 13th, Cole Custer, Chastain, Dillon rounds out the top 15. Kurt Busch, disappointing 16th place finish for him to end. And also with Chip Ganassi Racing, they're shutting their doors out there today. 14th to 16th, very disappointing. Byron and Bowman, 17th, 18th. Reddick and Priest, they round out the top 20. Overall, I thought the race was really good. I really enjoyed the race. I love seeing the cars slipping and sliding off the corners. I thought this was a typical NASCAR race. Nothing. Obviously, you had moments. I thought this was a really good race. Nothing way extreme. None of that crazy wild racing. But it wasn't boring. I thought it was really solid, really fun race. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, it's kind of fitting when you really think about it on how 2022, a new era in NASCAR, especially with the elimination of the 5 lug nut wheels. We're not going to a single lug nut. It's kind of fitting how the deciding championship was on a pit stop and on 5 lug nuts. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss that pit stop procedure. And it's kind of fitting how we end off that era of NASCAR with the championship deciding on a pit stop. It's kind of, it's just weird, with this year, it's the end of a lot of things, the end of the Gen 6 car. After 9 years, they're going away. I talked about with the lug nuts, the number placement, silly as that is, that's, going to be different. A lot of drivers, like I said, with Keselowski, he's leaving Penske, going to Roush Fenway. Newman, and potentially his final Cup Series start. Ryan Preece, also, he's gone after this season. Starcom Racing, we talked about them leaving. Chip Ganassi, them shutting down. There's a lot of eras ending. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more eras ending. NBCSN, they're shutting down and moving to a new network in the USA next year. There's a lot of things ending, but I'm looking forward to 2022. It's with a new next-gen car. I know there's a lot of skepticism, but I'm excited for what could possibly happen. I'm excited about the Clash, the Coliseum. Should be an awesome way to kick off the season. And I'm really intrigued to see how the future of NASCAR looks in 2022 and beyond. But before I end the show, first of all, I must say happy 80th birthday to my grandpa. Or at least some people, they call him Dirty Harry. He turned 80 years old on November 4th was his birthday. So happy birthday, Grandpa. I know you're watching this. And that's going to conclude this episode of NASCAR 2021 and MDK Racing Victory Stop. Thank y'all so much for all the support this season. I know the ending of my videos have been horrible. No race day videos for virtually all of the playoffs. I do apologize for it. It's just A lot of things are happening off camera that I didn't have the time really to put together a video, a race day video, so I do apologize for that. Yeah, hopefully we can get some stuff in the works in the off season with some videos I want to start doing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for not only NASCAR, but for this channel. But that is it. Thank y'all so much for watching. We're done. We're done with this. I brought out the gong, and officially NASCAR 2021 is officially over. Thank y'all so much for watching. Congratulations to Kyle Larson, your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion. I'm Jack Krause. We'll see you in LA.